Yo, what's up with it? Welcome back to my channel, everybody. In today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how I made this cool YouTube banner using just Procreate. Alright guys, so before we start, I need you to do a few things. First, you're gonna need to download this template. I'm gonna leave a link down in the description box. Alright, so after you've done all that, let's jump right into Procreate. So add a new artboard by tapping the icon in the top right hand corner. And I know you guys can't see this, but we're going to enter the size 2560 by 1440. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is drop in that template that you just downloaded. So go to the wrench tool, insert a photo, and then just navigate to where that photo is saved. Alright, I'm just going to walk you guys through this template a little bit. So each rectangle represents a different sized media. So the smallest size is for mobile, then the bigger size is for desktop, and then the largest size is how it will show up on TV. So just know that the artwork that you want to show on desktop and mobile need to fit within these little rectangles. The first thing I'm going to do is just drop down the opacity of this template so it's not as distracting. But just know it's going to be here this whole time to act as a guide while we create art. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Pinterest inspiration. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can press and hold on Pinterest and then drag it and it will actually fit into the frame with your Procreate. I thought that was pretty cool. So this is my inspiration photo. I really liked the color of these nails. They're very kind of wild, colorful, but also neutral. So that's the theme that I'm gonna go with. The first thing we're gonna do is add a background color. So I'm just gonna kind of mimic the neutral color of the nail and use that as my background color. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to find like a pretty good match. And just know, if you don't want to use a background color, you can actually drop an image into this background for the effect that you want. Alright, so the most important element on your YouTube channel banner is your name. So go to the wrench tool, add text, and then a little text box will pop up. I'm going to go ahead and move this into place. So double click on your text, and then you can just type out your name or your channel name. When you're ready to start formatting the text, just click on the double A in the top right corner, and then you'll see a whole list of fonts and styles that you can start with. Now just double click on your text to select it, and then choose the font that you want to use. So I'm going to go with Futura, and I'm actually going to size this down a little bit. I just clicked on the direct selection tool up top to size it down. So yeah, whenever you want to edit text, just triple click. And I'm going to make this bold. One thing to note is you can pull on the edges of the text box to make it go into one line or two lines or whatever size you want. Alright, so that looks decent. I'll probably change it later, but anyways. The next element that we need to add is a subhead. So just add another text box in. There are a lot of different options you can do for your subhead text. Then you can do like a slogan, you can do your uploading schedule. There's a lot of options. I would just get inspiration from some of your favorite YouTubers. If you follow me, which I know you do, you know that I do tutorials, lifestyle, beauty, and so much more. Alright, I'm just going to use the direct selection tool to kind of move my subhead into place. And yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the next thing. Now I'm going to show you guys how to add an image. So go to the wrench tool, insert a photo, and then just navigate to where your photo is saved. There it is. I'm just going to move this to the top layer so it's easier to see. And then I think I'm going to scale this up too. Yeah. Alright, now I'm just going to cut out this image. So what you want to do is click this selection tool, make sure freehand is selected and add, and then I'm just going to slowly go around the outside and outline my body as good as I can. It's okay if it's not perfect because I'm going to show you guys how you can fix it later. Okay. So once you're done with your selection, just go to the layers and tap on the image layer. That'll bring up a little menu and we're gonna choose mask. And as you can see, that just completely got rid of the background like magic. Now I'm gonna teach you guys all about masks. So in our layers, you'll see the mask background is black and the cutout is white. So we're just gonna alternate between using white and black, knowing that black subtracts from the image, and using the color white will actually add to the image. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and clean up some of this selection. Yeah, just make sure your mask is selected. I'm gonna use black to get rid of some of this shoulder. Oh. And yeah, I'll speed this up a bit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna scale down my image and drop it into a good position. When you're placing elements in your design, just be mindful of where the different sizes for mobile, desktop, and TV start and end. Just know that, for example, the mobile square will crop the image around that first border. I'm not really worried about how this will look for TV, but just be mindful of where it will crop for mobile and where the image will crop for desktop. Okay, so I pulled my Pinterest board back up so I can have some inspiration for colors. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of freestyle this, dropping in different shapes, filling them with color. And yeah, I'm just gonna make this kind of funky and fun. And yeah, we'll see how it turns out in the end. One thing to note, I am dropping each color onto its own layer just in case I want to move things around later or erase things later. It just makes it easier when things are on their own layer. And don't be afraid to play with different brushes. You know, experiment. I actually found this nice charcoal brush. It's this top one called 2D Compressed. And I'm just gonna add a little texture, you know, it adds dimension, and yeah, it gives like a vintage feel, age. I really like it. So I'm just gonna play around with that. At this point, I was really not digging my white headline, so I'm just gonna go ahead and change it to a nice blue that'll pop off the background, and yeah, just editing my text a little bit. Artists can never make up their mind, so just bear with me here. Alright guys, this is when you know you have a problem. I want you to place a bet. How many times do you think I drew this crown? Because it's an unhealthy amount, I'll tell you that. But I'd say this is my favorite part of this entire drawing, is just adding in these final details, these finishing touches that just, you know, just bring another level of just artistry to this piece. Alright, when you're finished with your artwork, go to the wrench tool, share, and then JPEG to export your image. And then I'm just going to select save image, and that should pop it right into our photo library. There it is, y'all. The last thing there is to do is to upload your cool new banner to your YouTube. So go into your YouTube studio, and up top you'll see a branding tab. And under banner image, just press upload, navigate to your image, and bam! Oh, yeah. Well, if you use the sizes from that template, or you shouldn't have to resize anything, so just press done, and then bam! Publish. And I'll show you guys what it looks like once your artwork is finally published. I mean, come on. I think you should subscribe to this channel, because look at that banner. Am I right?